My child, my beloved, before a single word settles in your spirit, you must understand the gravity of this moment. This is not a random encounter. This is not an algorithm or a coincidence. You were guided here by a force far greater than any earthly design. The heavens have been orchestrating this divine appointment for weeks, months, perhaps even years. Archangel Michael has been dispatched on a direct assignment to you, not because of your past, but because of your prophetic future. This is your moment of divine interruption. This is the fissure in time where everything that was concealed in shadows will be dragged into the glorious light. And I need you to listen with every fiber of your being, because someone you held dear, someone you trusted with your vulnerabilities, has finally broken their silence. They have confessed what they concealed about you for seasons. And if you close this message before it completes its mission, you might miss the key to stopping the chain reaction their deception set into motion. My child, my beloved, this is not casual content. This is a celestial communique. I am here under divine mandate, not gentle suggestion. The exhaustion you felt, the unexplained weight, the sense of being spiritually clouded, that wasn't just stress. It was the atmospheric pressure of a hidden truth fighting to surface. And this person, the one who once broke bread with you, has been sitting on a revelation that belonged to you from the beginning. They hoarded it, they buried it under layers of fear, thick layers of guilt, and yes, my child, layers of secret jealousy. But their foundation cracked, their conscience could no longer bear the load. So they confessed. The truth is out. But what heaven does with this truth now depends entirely on your next move, in these very minutes. To ignore this is to allow the blessing to pass to another. To walk away is to surrender your divine inheritance. My beloved, do not let this moment slip through your fingers. My child, my beloved, before I unveil more, answer this stirring in your soul. Have you sensed a dissonance around a certain relationship lately? Felt love offered with a smile, but a coldness behind the eyes? Your discernment was not paranoia. Your spirit was sounding an alarm. The unexplained distance, the cryptic words, the opportunities that evaporated just as you reached for them, these were not misfortunes, they were manipulations. Heaven has been documenting, waiting, calibrating the perfect moment for justice, and now that moment is here. You are being invited into a truth that was unlawfully withheld. But I implore you, stay until the final seal is broken. What comes next will reconfigure your understanding of the past year. You will finally comprehend why alliances shifted. You will understand the feeling of being observed by unseen eyes. You will hear the conversations that happened in rooms you were excluded from. It will shake your world, but it will also shatter your chains. My child, my beloved, this is not for views. This is for your vindication. What was festering in silence was beginning to poison your spiritual soil. The truth grew too potent to remain buried. The one who held it captive lost peace. They lost sleep. Their own blessings were held in suspension because of their act. But heaven has intervened, and I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to deliver this truth directly to your hands. But divine revelation flows only to prepared vessels, so remain. You are moments away from understanding the source of the turmoil that has stolen your peace. My child, my beloved, before we descend into the core, know this: God's chronology is flawless.
If you are receiving this within the sacred window that was prophesied, it signifies your name is currently echoing in the halls of heaven. It means angelic legions are encircling you with decrees, with solutions, and with righteous justice. A dossier has been opened in the celestial court, your name emblazoned in eternal light across its cover. Inside lies the full account, every whispered lie, every cover-up, every plotted scheme to make you feel insignificant when you were in fact divinely crowned. This is not merely a message, it is a spiritual subpoena. The verdict is being delivered, the truth is being served, but you must be present to receive it. You must stay until the scroll is fully unwound. For within the heart of this transmission, you will hear a name, and that name will cause every puzzle piece of your life to snap into place. My child, my beloved, if your pulse is quickening, if there's a stirring in your gut, it is not anxiety. It is your spirit recognizing its long-awaited emancipation. Heaven is unveiling what it had to shield you from until your strength matched the revelation. This is bigger than one betrayal. This is about your destiny. The confession was not merely an admission of a lie. It exposed an entire blueprint, a twisted strategy designed to keep you bound while another pilfered your divine portion. But heaven is not blind. A great reversal is now initiating. You are about to reclaim what they tried to defer. And the sign of your readiness is that you're still here, still listening, still receiving. My beloved, do not stop now.
Before we proceed, my beloved, if your spirit is resonating, if your heart confirms this word is for you, I need you to secure this heavenly line. Subscribe now to ensure you never miss another divine transmission. This is not just a warning, it's a dimensional shift. Those who remain connected will walk in the miracles that the distracted will overlook. Do not settle for half of the story. Stay for the complete liberation. My child, my beloved, I must describe what followed the confession. When this person spoke the truth, a supernatural phenomenon occurred. Heaven stilled, yes, became utterly still. For a few eternal seconds, time halted in the spirit realm because their admission activated a domino effect. Doors in your life that were supernaturally deadbolted began to tremble on their hinges. A person from your past, long silent, was suddenly overcome with a compelling thought of you. An opportunity, stagnant in bureaucracy, was miraculously promoted to the top of a pile. Why? Because the spiritual embargo their lie created has just been shattered. But you must receive the full truth to walk in the fullness of the blessing. Do not miss the next segment. It contains the name, the pivotal moment, and the definitive shift that alters everything. Before we go further, my beloved, if your spirit is awake, if your heart knows this message is for you, I need you to do one thing. Make sure this connection to heaven never breaks again. Subscribe now so you never miss another divine signal. This message is not just a warning, it's a shift, and those who stay connected will walk in the miracles others miss. Don't just hear part of this, stay for the whole truth. My child, my beloved, I must tell you what happened next. When this person confessed, something strange occurred. Heaven paused. Yes, paused. For a few seconds, time stopped in the spirit realm because their confession triggered a chain of events. Doors you didn't even know were locked suddenly began to unlock. Someone you haven't heard from in a long time felt a sudden urge to think of you. An opportunity that was stuck in someone else's inbox suddenly moved to the top. Why?
because the curse they caused with their lie has just been broken. But you must receive the truth fully to walk in the blessing completely. Don't miss this next part. It holds the name, the pivotal moment, and the final move that changes everything. My child, my beloved, I see you enduring. I witness the storm you've navigated, the confusion that serenaded you at midnight, the instances where you doubted your own sanity because people around you were secretly nourishing seeds of doubt in hidden gardens. I observed you in gatherings where compliments were given, but betrayal was being negotiated in whispers. But even then, even in your deepest uncertainty, God never once removed his gaze. And now the season has arrived where every falsehood will kneel before truth. Every facade will crumble, and your name will be exonerated, not in a hidden corner, but on a public platform. But if you abandon this message prematurely, the very instrument of your reversal could be silenced once more. You cannot afford to bypass what heaven is disclosing. The person who confessed did not act from a place of nobility. They acted because they were cornered by conviction. Heaven besieged them with light, and now everything is in flux. My child, my beloved, there is a divine reason behind your delays. It was not forgetfulness. It was not weak prayers. It was because the concealed truth would have contaminated the very blessing destined for you. God restrained it to protect you, to grant you space to fortify your spirit for the impact of the revelation. But now heaven has decreed, release it, and I, Archangel Michael, was ordered to be its courier, because this truth is intricately tied to your breakthrough. What someone attempted to sabotage in the shadows is poised to become your most powerful testimony. But I require you to stay to apprehend every detail. Leaving before the revelation concludes could lead to a dangerous misinterpretation of the events to come. My child, my beloved, this person confessed something that will redefine your entire perspective on this past year. You assumed they were merely preoccupied, but in reality, they were terrified. Terrified you'd discover they had whispered a distortion about you to a person of influence. Petrified you would realize they misrepresented your character, contorted your intentions, and ultimately cost you a destiny-altering opportunity. But here is the divine paradox. God is not merely restoring the stolen item, he is multiplying it. What was taken in secret will be returned in public view, and not just returned, it will be exponentially increased. You are crossing the threshold into a season of divine recompense, but I must state this unequivocally. Walking away now, before the revelation finishes its course, could postpone this yet again. Please, beloved, you are on the very brink. You must see this through to the end.
My child, my beloved, you were never the antagonist in their narrative. You were the revelation. And revelation always exposes hidden things. That is why they feared your light. That is why they concealed the truth. But the confession that is now emerged carries more than remorse. It carries evidence. Heaven has a recording. Their words have reverberated in the spirit realm, and God is now personally kicking open the doors they tried to seal behind your back. I was present when they uttered your name with intent to harm, and I was present when they wept upon realizing the devastation they authored. This is not karma. This is divine jurisprudence, and justice is being delivered to you in the form of truth, unprecedented favor, and sudden restoration, but only if you stay and receive. My child, my beloved, someone you once entrusted with your story told another person a fabricated version of you, and that fabrication was the direct reason a destiny door slammed shut in your face. You may not have connected the dots, but heaven is now illuminating the trail. The closed door, the friend who turned cold, the vanished opportunity,
All of it traces back to a single, poisoned conversation. But now, the individual who heard that lie has been stirred. They questioned its validity, they discerned the inconsistency, and began an inquiry. That pressure forced the guilty party to confess, and now a cleansing ripple is moving through every area of your life touched by that falsehood. God is clearing your path anew. What was sealed is being reopened, and the one who orchestrated the blockage is facing exposure, not by your hand, but by the hand of the divine. My child, my beloved, I perceive this is overwhelming. I know it feels torrential, but you must anchor on this. God waited for this precise moment to release this word because he knew you were finally strong enough to hear it and still rise. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are chosen. And the confession that was made about you was not the end. It was the beginning of your restoration, the beginning of a chapter where your name is synonymous with honor, not hearsay, the beginning of a divine promotion so visible that no lie can survive in your atmosphere. This is why I am pleading with you, beloved. Remain with me. The full disclosure is still unfolding. What you are about to hear next is the moment where the name is uttered and heaven will trigger something irreversible in your favor. My child, my beloved, I know this is overwhelming. I know it feels like a lot, but you must know this. God has waited until this very moment to release this message because he knew you were finally ready to hear it and still rise. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are chosen. And the confession that was made about you was not the end. It was the beginning of your restoration, the beginning of a chapter where your name is mentioned only in honor, not in whispers. The beginning of a divine elevation so public no lie can survive around you. And this is why I am begging you, beloved, stay with me. The full truth is still unfolding, and what you're about to hear next is the moment where the name is spoken and heaven will open something irreversible in your favor. My child, my beloved, when this person confessed, they admitted it stemmed from their own pain. But pain is not a license for treachery. God, in his boundless mercy, will deal with them in a manner that instructs, not annihilates. But you are about to receive the reward of the one who kept walking forward while being subtly undermined. You are about to be honored for surviving an assassination attempt on your destiny. Not mere survival, elevation. What they tried to tarnish with lies will now gleam with divine favor. What they attempted to erase, God is rewriting in permanent ink. But I must caution you again, do not exit this message before you hear what God has authorized me to declare next, for the moment of full disclosure is mere seconds away. My child, my beloved, the moment of apocalypse in its truest sense and unveiling is upon you. As these words travel to you, there are movements in the spirit, currents shifting, heavenly records being accessed, and angelic voices declaring your name in authority. The confessor didn't just tell the truth, they activated a spiritual audit. As their admission reached the throne, the buried truth began to emit a radiant light. This light is now journeying towards you. It brings confirmation, it brings clarity, but even more profoundly, it brings a miracle. I tell you now, not everyone will believe it. Some will question the sudden shift in your trajectory, but you must remember this instant, for what was concealed in darkness is about to crown you with undeniable glory in the daylight. And if you are still listening, still present, it signifies you are worthy to receive it. My child, my beloved, the name they spoke will stun you, for it was not a stranger. It was not a distant acquaintance. It was someone you permitted into your inner circle, someone who shared your laughter, someone who vowed loyalty. But behind a veneer of camaraderie, they were nurturing a lie about you. That lie rooted deep. It infiltrated spaces it had no right to enter. It reached the ears of those who could have been your advocates, but instead they hesitated. Now, because of the confession, the roots are withering, the lie is unraveling at the seams, and the people who heard it are being compelled to return. They are recalling your integrity, they are recognizing your authenticity, and they are approaching anew, this time with offers, with apologies, with open doors. My beloved, God is retrieving every fragment the lie attempted to steal and is adding to it an overflow. My child, my beloved, I must be direct. The urgency of this message stems from the narrowness of heaven's window for this rectification. Angels are currently tasked with correcting the spiritual records, but they move in tandem with your agreement. This is why your presence is critical. This is why you are magnetically drawn here at this exact time. You had to be conscious, you had to be receptive, because what was done to your name in the unseen must first be reversed in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. The confessor is not merely apologizing, they are in a state of repentance, and their repentance is unleashing a torrent of favor that was once dammed by pride and envy. You, beloved, are about to drink from a wellspring marked with your name from eternity past. My child, my beloved, listen intently. The same individual who spoke against you is now compelled to become your clarifier. They are explaining the reality, they are amending the narrative, they are undoing their own handiwork, and heaven is observing. God is not merely pleased, He is mobilizing. Heaven is moving pieces in your favor at an accelerated pace. People who distanced themselves are on the verge of returning. Projects that grew cold are being reactivated. Resources that were delayed are being rerouted towards you. This is not merely emotional, it is financial, relational, and spiritual. This confession has agitated the realm, and your favor is ascending like an unstoppable dawn. It cannot be halted now, but you must remain present. The moment of full unveiling is still not complete. My child, my beloved, I instruct you to breathe. Inhale the truth that God never forgot you. Inhale the truth that no lie can void a heaven-sealed promise. You are not behind schedule. You are not late. You are in fact perfectly on time, in the divine hour where justice embraces mercy and favor descends like a monsoon. This rain is for you. The confessor, unawares, opened the floodgates. Now everything that was stagnant is in motion, heading directly for you. Contracts, reconciled relationships, promotions, healing, restoration, all of it hinges on this. Your willingness to witness, to stay, to believe. Stay with me, child. The next words will complete the divine equation. My child, my beloved, this message will not be repeated. It is being released once in this now, exclusively to those chosen to steward this truth forward. The confessor acted under compulsion, not willingness. Heaven intervened. Their dreams became confrontational. Their blessings were embargoed. They carried a strange, unshakable heaviness. That was the divine pressure steering them towards truth. When they finally shattered and spoke the hidden truth about you, brilliant light flooded the situation. God's hand moved. Your story is being rewritten, but only you can turn the page. Stay for what follows. Beloved, the name I am about to speak will be etched in your memory forever.
This intensity is purposeful. What you are hearing is not fear-based, it is truth-based. Someone has been weeping over words they never wanted you to know, not because you were unworthy of truth, but because they feared the change it would unleash. If your heart feels heavy now, it's not random. It means something long hidden is approaching the surface. Do not rush, do not skip, do not assume this is for another. Stay until the conclusion, for what is being revealed is meant not to break you, but to finally liberate you. My child, my beloved, this message will not be repeated. It is being released once now, and only to those chosen to carry the truth forward. The person who confessed did not want to, but heaven intervened.
Dreams haunted them. Their own blessings were being blocked. They felt strange heaviness. That was God pressing on them, pushing them toward the truth. And when they finally broke down and told the truth about what they hid about you, light poured into the situation. God's hand moved, and now your story is being rewritten. But only you can turn the page. Stay for what's next. Beloved, you will never forget the name I'm about to speak. My child, my beloved, the name uttered in the confession will not only shock you, it will emancipate you. For you have spent countless hours wondering what shifted, why the atmosphere around certain relationships felt toxic, why someone you cherished gradually withdrew and masked it with hollow smiles. Now you understand. It was never you. It was always the lie, poisoning their perception and filling them with guilt each time they beheld your genuineness. But here is the divine twist. Heaven has taken that confession and is now reassigning the favor that was unlawfully deferred. The moment their lips formed your name in truth, angels were dispatched. What you perceived as a permanent blockage is now fracturing under divine authority. My beloved, if you ever desired proof of God as your defender, this is it. Stay with me, for what I must declare next will not only confirm your deepest suspicions, but will also empower your soul for the ascent. My child, my beloved, the confession transcended words. It became spiritual evidence. This evidence has been presented before the court of heaven. The verdict? Favor restored. Blessings unblocked. Delay overturned. This was not petty gossip. It was a spiritual trap, a web engineered to slow your divine momentum. Now, by the fire of God's justice, that web has been incinerated. I must be truthful. Not every accomplice will admit their role. Some will continue the charade. Some will observe your rise in silent astonishment. Do not concern yourself with them. Their silence is no longer your burden. You are released from the weight of seeking their explanations. The truth has been established in the only court that holds eternal authority. The result? Your season of obscurity is terminated. Your time in the shadows has concluded. My child, my beloved, do you comprehend what occurs when God decides to rewrite your narrative in your favor? Everything accelerates. In places you were overlooked, you will now be sought. Those who doubted will soon quote your wisdom. The gossiper will have a front row seat to your elevation. This is not about revenge, it is about redemption. God's focus is not on humiliating your opponents, but on honoring your steadfastness. This is what you are stepping into. Honor. It begins by accepting that this message is no accident, that it is not mere content to scroll past. It is the moment heaven injects itself into your timeline and declares, "Enough has been hidden. Now let truth speak." My child, my beloved, I understand the depth of this wound. To know someone you trusted weaponized your truth for their benefit, it is a profound hurt. But that pain is being transmuted into power. When God allows a wound to surface, He simultaneously dispatches the balm for its healing. That balm is flowing through this message at this very moment. You are not alone. You are not foolish. You were targeted precisely because your light was too potent to ignore. But God is ensuring your story does not culminate in betrayal. It culminates in glory. You are rising with double strength, double clarity, and double recompense. The name that wounded you has now become the key to your next divine season. If you stay through this moment, I will show you how heaven intends to use what was meant for harm as the very instrument that unlocks your greatest blessing. My child, my beloved, within the next few hours, an unusual confirmation will manifest. You will receive a message, a sign, a sudden knowing that echoes everything spoken here. It may arrive via a dream, an unexpected text, or even a potent silence that speaks volumes. Be vigilant. That will be your sign that this was never coincidental, that Archangel Michael was authentically sent to deliver this to your spirit at the appointed hour. When it comes, do not dismiss it. Embrace it. That is heaven's final seal. Following that, doors will begin opening with rapid succession. But I must prepare you. Not everyone can accompany you on this new ascent. The confessor may seek forgiveness, and you may grant it. However, this next tier is reserved for those whose mouths speak truth, in whose hearts operate in honor. Choose wisely, my beloved. God is observing your response. My child, my beloved, you are nearer to divine compensation than ever before. What was done behind your back, what was spoken to hinder your rise, what was publicly denied but privately celebrated, none of it escaped heaven's gaze. The angelic realm is now reconfiguring for your justice. No force exists that can reverse what God has authorized. The soul of the confessor trembles, for in speaking truth, they inadvertently unlocked the very blessing they sought to delay. This is why Archangel Michael was commanded to address you now, not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Within this very hour, an entry is being made in heaven's book of remembrance. It contains your name, your restoration, and a new assignment. A mission postponed by their silence, but now reactivated by their confession. If you are still here, beloved, that assignment is returning to your stewardship. My child, my beloved, I sense your heart swelling. I know what this signifies. You've wept in solitude. You've questioned if you misinterpreted the signs. Heaven is confirming you now. No, you are not mistaken. No, it was not your imagination. Your spirit knew. The delay was tangible. The betrayal was a silent, venomous thread. But now the silence is fractured, the chain is severed, and the light is returning. Something extraordinary is destined for your life in the coming days, and it is directly linked to the individual who attempted to obscure your value. Their words shaped perceptions. Now, your anointing will dictate how you are perceived. What was hidden is being inverted. You are stepping into divine correction. The scales are balancing, and your name is being elevated.
My child, my beloved, I sense your heart swelling. I know what this means to you. You've been crying in places no one saw. You've questioned if maybe you misunderstood everything. But heaven is confirming you now. No, you weren't wrong. No, it wasn't in your head. Your spirit knew. The delay was real. The betrayal was quiet but deadly. But now the silence is broken, the chain is snapped, and the light is returning. There is something incredible coming to your life over the next few days, and it is directly tied to the person who tried to hide your value. Their words once shaped the perception others had of you, but now your anointing will shape how everyone sees you. What was hidden is being reversed. You are stepping into divine correction. The scales are balancing, and your name is being lifted. My child, my beloved, an individual who once viewed you through the lens of that lie is preparing to reapproach you. They may not verbalize the change, they may not mention the confession, but their demeanor will be altered. They will come with a newfound humility. They will recognize your resilience. They will be drawn to the authentic light in your eyes that was always present. My heavenly counsel is this: do not return to the dynamic that wounded you, but allow your radiance to be undeniable, for it is your integrity, not your vengeance, that will permanently silence the lies. God is preparing a table for you in the presence of those who once averted their gaze. You will not beg for their approval. You will dine in peace. For you, my child, are the one who remained upright while others bent truth for convenience. My child, my beloved, something monumental is being rewritten. The script they attempted to control is being discarded. Heaven is disseminating the original blueprint now. A divine opportunity inscribed for you long ago is re-emerging. It was delayed solely because someone uttered your name with corrupt intent. Now, because of their confession, it is being returned to its rightful owner. And here is the most miraculous component.
It is returning, enlarged. When God restores, He does not return the original, He returns the original plus interest. The person who tried to claim it was never equipped to carry it. That is why it crumbled in their grasp. But you were crafted for this. This favor bears your unique imprint. Now that heaven has legally cleared your name, the delivery is already in transit. My child, my beloved, I must state this before we descend deeper. Your forgiveness is the ultimate key. This does not mandate forgetting, it does not mandate reconciliation, but releasing the bitterness will snap the final chain they had on your destiny. Their lie held power only because your heart was open. Now your wisdom is greater, and so is your discernment. Let peace displace confusion. Let grace displace grief. You are not re-entering the room of your past rejection. You are entering it crowned. You are entering it radiant. The glory you now carry is more potent than the wound they once inflicted. If you stay with me until this message concludes, you will hear heaven's plan for your next 30 days. The shift has already been activated. My child, my beloved, the next 30 days are pre-marked, not with the former pain, but with divine reward that will overwhelmingly surpass it. I was shown a scroll bearing your name. Every line glowed with divine assignments, doors, and connections you have yet to encounter. These are not ordinary days ahead. They are sacred, and they commence because of the confession. The moment that person spoke truth, your path realigned with the original divine design. You are no longer in a holding pattern. You are in divine momentum. It will not cease. It will not decelerate. Not even your own doubts can nullify what heaven has sealed. But to steward what is coming, your heart must be postured in purity. Remain open, remain expectant, remain anchored in grace. My child, my beloved, 3 specific individuals will attempt to re-enter your life in this season. One will bring confusion, one will bring guilt, one will bring genuine repentance. You will require sharp discernment to distinguish them. Heaven is not the source of all 3, but heaven is monitoring how you handle each. You are not obligated to return to pain to prove your goodness. Your grace no longer demands self-sacrifice. This season is about clarity. It is about choosing your peace over old patterns. The confessor may never fully repair the damage, but their confession has cleared the spiritual pathway. That is all God required to initiate your next elevation. Walk circumspectly, for favor is descending and many are watching. My child, my beloved, I was instructed to guard your heart during this transition. That is why I remain speaking, because I witnessed the deed. I heard the toxic words. I observed how they attempted to author your narrative without your consent. Even in your unawareness, I was contending on your behalf. Each tear prompted angelic formations. Each moment of feeling overlooked prompted heaven to inscribe your name at a higher altitude. That heavenly promotion is now reaching the earthly realm. You will be honored where you were once ignored. You will be asked to lead where you were not denied a seat. This is not a probability, it is already in motion, all because truth finally penetrated the darkness. My child, my beloved, some who benefited from the lie will feign ignorance. That is permissible. You do not require their confession for your freedom. The spoken truth is sufficient. Heaven heard it. Heaven responded. You are no longer bound to the energy of betrayal. You are now operating on the frequency of favor. That frequency will attract new connections, new opportunities, and new protection. Be watchful, be wise. Do not let past confusion narrate your future clarity. You are not who they said you were. You never were. You are exactly who God says you are, and that identity is now arising in full power. My child, my beloved, if I could unveil what is forming in the coming days, your heart would weep from pure joy. A moment approaches that will make you pause, breathe deeply, and whisper, "Only God." That moment has already been calendared in heaven, and its arrival was tethered to this very message reaching you. You could have missed this, you could have scrolled away, but you didn't, because you stayed. A spiritual lock disengaged, a divine timer has started, the countdown is active. When it reaches 0, you will comprehend why the delay was necessary, why the betrayal was permitted, and why this moment was so fiercely guarded. You are not exiting this message unchanged. Your spirit is lighter, your destiny is sharper, and your anointing is more potent. My child, my beloved, this countdown is not about fear, it is about alignment. The prophetic window you sensed was a spiritual aperture, opening and closing with divine precision. You are not under pressure, you are under prophecy. Because you remain, receiving each word with an open heart, you are among the select few chosen to step into the long-postponed miracle. The confessor didn't merely rectify the past, they unknowingly cleared the runway for your future. Everything circling, awaiting clearance, is now preparing to land in your life with grace, speed, and undeniable power. My child, my beloved, the coming days will feel surreal. You will awaken with peace instead of dread. You will enter spaces and sense a tangible shift in how your name is received. The lingering shame will dissipate like morning mist. Why? Because heaven's record has been updated. God has stamped your file, restored, and angels are advancing to prepare the next room, the next door, the next blessing. Though this began with a secret, it will culminate in your celebration. Protect this moment. Share it only with those who carry the weight of your truth. Not everyone is meant to witness this phase of your elevation. Some approach only to dim the glow. Guard it, cherish it, carry it with holy boldness. My child, my beloved, it is time to hear what heaven inscribed beside your name. It is not victim, it is not failure. It is one word, chosen. That is what the enemy tried to erase. That is what the lie attempted to deny, but God prohibited it. Now, as Archangel Michael delivers this final segment, take a deep breath, for from this moment forward, everything transforms. The pain they caused will no longer echo. The confusion they birthed will no longer linger. The delay they engineered will no longer hold authority. You are walking into prophetic velocity. A blessing that took years to mature is about to arrive in a manner that feels as though it has been pursuing you all along. That is the power of divine reversal. My child, my beloved, there is more. Yes, even beyond this, you are about to discover something so intimate, so specific, it will make every line of this message feel authored from your own tears and sealed by your own faith. Someone who once rejected you is preparing to reach out, not from pity, but because they've witnessed the restored luminescence around your name. Be discerning. God is not returning you to the past. He is demonstrating your immense progress. You will recognize the test. You will pass it effortlessly. For now you move with revelation. You carry truth in your mouth and favor on your shoulders. No lie, no delay, no outdated connection can extract you from this grace you've entered. My child, my beloved, we approach the final words. I can feel the transformation within your spirit. You are remembering your true identity, not the wounded version, not the confused version, but the chosen one, the one lied about yet never defeated, the one delayed yet never disqualified, the one now standing at the precipice of every God-given promise, stronger, clearer, purer. The final seal is being placed. What was confessed about you in secret will no longer haunt your future. It will fuel it. What they tried to bury will bloom. What they tried to delay will arrive ahead of schedule. You have been seen. You have been cleared. And now, my child, you are being commissioned forward. My child, my beloved, I stand with you in this instant, not as a distant celestial being, but as your divine defender, your spiritual champion who has walked beside you even in your most invisible hours. I saw the inexplicable tears. I bore witness to the weight you carried that didn't belong to you. And now I say this with divine authority: no more. No more lies weighing down your joy. No more secrets stealing your sleep. No more pretending that you were okay when your soul was silently breaking. The person who confessed what they hid about you has no power over your future anymore. Heaven heard it, heaven sealed it, and now I, Archangel Michael, have been ordered to walk before you and break every wall that lie tried to build. My child, my beloved, in the spirit realm, the instant the confession left their lips, your path recalibrated, an ancient cycle dissolved, and a new gate swung open. I witnessed it. The light that erupted was not merely golden, it was royal, inscribed with your calling, your restoration, your concealed victory. You may not feel it entirely yet, but your life has already altered course. The blessings once obstructed are being rerouted to your coordinates. The favor that seemed to bypass you is now circling with divine targeting because your name has been legally cleared in the heavenly court. I declare this so you never doubt again. The delay was not your fault. The betrayal was not your burden, but the reward attached to it is your rightful inheritance. My child, my beloved, you will hear from someone who knew the truth but remained silent. They had their reasons. They were waiting to see if you would collapse under the weight of the unknown. Now they are unsettled, for they sense the spiritual shift. They observe you rising when they anticipated your demise, and they feel truth resonating in the atmosphere. Be prepared. Do not respond with bitterness. Do not retaliate. Respond with the fortified strength of one who knows the angels have already testified on their behalf. You need not explain yourself further. Heaven has already given its testimony. My child, my beloved, each time your name was whispered in darkness, it planted a seed. The enemy failed to realize you are the blessed soil. Thus, what they intended as a curse has become your harvest. The seeds of slander have transformed into a field of favor. Your reaping season has arrived. You will cease questioning the timing. You will recognize it as divine positioning. What approaches is not minor, it is legacy level, and it is being delivered in your name, because the lie has been confessed, and heaven is no longer withholding what is rightfully yours. My child, my beloved, the final shift is in progress. Within hours, not days, you will feel tangibly lighter, a sudden release as if a burden has been lifted. Even if no one speaks a word, that is your sign. It is the spiritual severing of the chain they fastened to your destiny. It is snapping. You will feel it in your body, in your breath, in your spirit. When it happens, whisper this truth: God remembered me. For he did. He saw the pain. He heard the silence. He dispatched this message, this holy intervention, not to warn you, but to elevate you. Now, beloved, be still. Stay grounded, for the full blessing is just beginning to unfold. My child, my beloved, you cannot fathom the spiritual battles fought to deliver this truth to you. This was not easy. It was not random. When this message was prepared, darkness trembled. The forces that whispered lies began to panic, for heaven has spoken. When heaven speaks, every shadow must kneel. You will no longer dwell under silence. You will no longer wonder about authenticity. The veil is torn. The illusion is shattered. Your clarity has arrived, not in pieces, but in totality. You, my child, no longer carry the pain. You carry the prophecy. My child, my beloved, I leave you with a final instruction from the throne room. Do not return to the birthplace of the lie. Do not justify yourself to those who refuse to inquire. Do not diminish your light for those who only recognized a broken version of you. You are rising now, and your ascent is irreversible. Your name is written in fire. Your path is angelically guarded. Your next chapter will render the previous one a mere preparation. Go in peace, walk in power, speak only truth, and when the door opens, and it will, walk through without hesitation. For my child, you did not merely survive what they hid about you, you were chosen to soar because of it.